Like you said, she was sucking it up.
The girls was like, "Oh, he did that for you." Oh, they not like you act like we was. They just be like, "Look what he did. He's so stupid." They be like, "Oh, it's so sweet. That's so cute. I can't believe he brought you something."
Nah,
Like,
stop it, stop it. Because you know what? You know why that's a lie. Because I had women tell me that when I wasn't paying for him and the other dude was. I listen, literally, a woman told me this. This is not just one, but this. I'm gonna give you one situation. Woman told me, yeah. She was not about to pick up the phone. It was another dude, but I was like, I don't care because I'm just dealing with him. I don't care what you do, as long as you don't care what I do. You know what she said? My job was the DS, right? The D supplier. That was my job, and you just understand that women purpose you. I don't know what you want to call it, but I'm just telling you what it is. So dig, the other dude. He was the financial dude, right? You can't tell me because I've seen the phone contacts and dudes be saved as Wilder or Cash App or whatever. That be the contact name in the phone. So stop it. Well, guess what? Maybe never you, but I seen it for real in real life. So you can't tell me that it don't exist because I've seen it by multiple women is what I'm trying to tell you. And she told me, yo, yeah, this dude, he been giving me money. He's stupid. She literally said that. She did not respect the dude because he tried to be a provider and cared about her and did all the right things and it bored the shit out of her. Stop it. That's real. That's real. And I'm not saying you because, okay, maybe not you.
Need to stay away
but what
from
I'm telling
predators.
you is that
it's not all women.
Hey.
Stay away from the predators.
But he didn't
never
say
said
that
it was
all women
women.
were predators.
I didn't say all
she
women.
was a
I just said
predator.
it exists. Yes. I said
are
she
like
was
this.
because I
Women are
recognize
like
I
that.
recognize it.
There
Dude,
are
let me
women
tell you,
like that.
I done dealt with probably 20 of them. I'm trying to tell you, just like her alone, just her type alone. I'm trying to tell you, I have the
10%.
XP. I've seen these women like you ain't seen these women. It could be. I've seen these women how you will never see these women is what I'm trying to tell you. And when there is no vested interest because they know that it's a dead end and there's no way that this will ever amount to anything substantial or legitimate or long term, you'd be surprised what these females will tell you. I got all the tea. I got all the secrets because they don't care. Because I pretend like I don't judge. Sure I am in my head, but they stupid enough to believe that I wouldn't judge them. I was just using the game. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to drop gems in y'all, and you ain't trying to hear it. Listen to me.
You had F-boy energy,
we got
so you
we got some women on the panel.
to-
Let's get D, Sam, and Toya in there. Like, is this true? Like, are women saving men in special context?
Sam, be honest.
Have you ever done it?
I'm not saying you're doing it now, but have you ever done it?
No, hell no. I've been with my husband too long.
Okay.
Really?
All right, D?
Thank you.
D?
No, I mean, I know women that do it, and it just depends on, I mean, it's women that move, and what Trev is saying. So I can speak on that from experience, but for myself, I am somebody that I'm like 100, 180. I'm somebody that do things for men and actually I'm more traditional. So it's, but even just crossing into the dating realms and all of that stuff. But, I know women that do it and, they say they stupid, dumb. They know what to get out of a man. They know how to feed his mind, manipulate, and get whatever it is that they want with no hard feelings about it. So it just depends, honestly, who you dealing with. Again, it does come with just, that experience or that plethora that people that I know that they like it. It feeds their ego. They want more of it. So I know men and women that do it. And then it just, I tell people, don't associate me with like a group. I have a very mixed, individuals. But for myself, I lead how I like to do for somebody versus I don't like the feeling of being used. So I'm somebody that I'm going to show up for my man or whatever. But I know people that's willing to drain a man everything that he got. And, they try to do all of this excess. But I had a quick question as we're talking about love bombing. So she mentioned for 2 years. Is there a general length of what we would consider love bombing? Because if you take somebody that's been doing it for 3 months and suddenly they turn off, but versus somebody for 2 years, that's a long time to me.
What you said, D, take your win. Take your win.
No, I'm actually happy that you asked that because I was thinking the same thing. I was like, is there a certain length of how long you're supposed to do for someone?
I want to go ahead and get Marcus in there. Let Marcus respond because he ain't spoken in a minute. Go ahead, Marcus. Ladies got a question.
All right, damn, it's a lot. So to answer that question, I think Bruiser answered that question in the very. I mean, Darwin answered that question in the very beginning of the show when he said it's love bombing when you use it as a form of manipulation, and it's not something that you're able to maintain. You're just doing it in order to gain control over the other person. So he also, when he spoke about setting the parameters for what you wanted, because in a transactional relationship, and I don't even think it's transactional. I think that I know he cited transactional, but it's more so about appropriate voicing your expectations and giving somebody a chance to either meet them or not. So when he was saying that he thinks that the guy didn't express his expectations, I think the same thing. Because if you're going 2 years and you're constantly doing for her and you stop doing for her because it's something she didn't do and she wasn't able to voice that, unless she was just completely lying and they had multiple conversations about it and she just refused to speak on it at all, it doesn't get to that point. If he said, hey, this is who I am, I'm showing up XYZ, I'm caring for you like this, this is something I enjoy doing, I'm not doing this to gain some approval or to make you think I'm a good guy, any of that, this is just how I move, and he's expecting it to be reciprocated. And if it's not reciprocated and he didn't explain that he expected it to be reciprocated, that's on him. That's 100% on him. He did not set up clear expectations from the beginning. And by him not setting those clear expectations up, he set himself up for failure. That's part of the reason men are supposed to, when we talk about leaders, we're talking about taking the lead and ensuring that clear communication exists. If you fail to communicate what you expected, you fail to lead at that point, my guy. I'm sorry. That's how that shit worked. You failed to put out exactly what you expected in return. And now, quick story. Love bombing is absolutely.
Marcus, before you tell your story, are there certain things that is just understood that don't have to be explained?
I don't think so, because yes, they are. Yeah, I was going to answer the question for that, but yes, you're right.
Like when we as men go into relationships, aren't there things that women just expect that they don't even have to tell us, and it just automatically comes with the territory?
It depends on how long you're with that person. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
So I'm gonna answer your question so I can get to the story real quick.
All right.
So yes, there are things like you expect somebody to hold the door open and you say thank you or whatever, right? And they don't do it. Now, if you see that same person and you continuously hold the door and getting mad that they didn't hold it, and you never told them, like, bro, that's rude. Like, you could at least say thank you, I'm not holding the door for you no more, or just stop holding the door, and they figured out like that's why, then it makes sense. So yes, there are things that are expectations, but once the thing that's expected to be done, the person doesn't do, you either figure out why they didn't do it, did they understand they were supposed to do it, or you stop doing it. You don't go 2 years holding the door for that person, and then, you know what I'm saying? But we talking about in the context of a relationship where communication is supposed to be one of the fundamental building blocks of the relationship. So that's why it switches and become different. But the quick story is this: love bombing is absolutely real. I had a friend that did not know how to talk to him when we was in college. Another basketball player. He just could not. He didn't have no game, like no game whatsoever. This is back when AIM Instant Messenger was a thing. I don't know if y'all remember that. You used to have the AOL and I know I'm aging myself. I'm kind of old. So we used to have. They look like sidekicks, little blue sidekicks where you could take and then get your instant messenger on. So he like, and what I say to him, I'm like, look, XYZ. Woo, woo, woo. Before I know it, he was talking to her like he was me. She fell in love with the person that he presented on the AOL Instant Messenger. I didn't know what love bombing was at the time. I thought I was just helping him out. She stayed with him 3 years, and the entire time she was waiting for the person she was speaking to in the AOL Instant Messengers to come out in real life. So essentially, I helped him love bomb her by not knowing what love bombing was and her falling in love with me via him.
That's not love bombing.
It is.
No, that's not.
It is love bombing. I set an expectation for something, and then it got removed because it essentially was manipulated. So she would like him. She got something that was not him.
But no, he learned the game from you. He just didn't
learn it though. He never learned it. She was essentially talking to me. He'd ask me a question, I answer it. Whoop, whoop, whoop. He'd send it to her. She'd respond. I'd be like, "What she say?" "All right, say this." Whoop, whoop, whoop. I send it to her. He'll send it to her. They got together. She started fucking him. It was all good. but she was like, maybe he's shy. And when he get more comfortable, then the person who I was talking to in the beginning to come out, but it never came out. And she essentially stayed in that relationship 3 years waiting for that person. I talked to her about it afterwards because they told her what happened. And she was like, that make perfect sense now.
That's catfishing. That ain't love bombing. Because love bombing would mean that he was doing it.
He was doing it via me is why I'm saying it was, because he was pretending to be something. Because when I think about love bombing, I think about you doing things in order to gain control over somebody, right? And it's a form of a negative manipulation, even though it seemed positive at the beginning because you're doing good for that person. You're doing something with the expectation of removing that thing once you get what you want. So that's why I'm associating like that. And I also can see how you splitting the hairs and calling it catfishing.
Well, that's literally catfishing because you're assuming that he's trying to manipulate it. He's just trying to answer the questions the best way that he can. You don't know how to. So he's just using you as a way to answer those questions or get her attention. He just couldn't perform in person.